This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right. I told you guys, man. See, that's why I said cats got to start following my page. Cats got to start following my channel. Because what did I tell you? Keith Thurman was going to go through a hard, arduous fight against Josesito Lopez. I told you cats that. Keith Thurman was going to go in a hard, arduous fight against the likes of a Josesito Lopez. There's just no two ways around it, man. This is why you cats need to follow my analysis when it comes to boxing, because I know these things. I see the square circle for what it is. I see the ins and the outs. I see those close quarter, things that people can't see. I knew that Keith Thurman had ring rust for 2 years, and he had to work that thing out. Plus, I knew Josesito Lopez wasn't trained previously by Robert Garcia. And I knew this time around in this fight, with him having Robert Garcia in his corner, it was going to turn some things around. But I'm not going to lie, and I know I'm going to get vilified for this, but when you saw that fight, Thurman did land the more significant punches in that fight. He landed the more accurate punches and the more technically placed punches in that fight. So I had him winning, and that's on my scorecard. I had Thurman winning 8-4. Some people could argue it might be 9-3. I gave Josesito Lopez 4 rounds because Josesito Lopez had 4 rounds where his awkward punching and his come forward style, gave him 4 rounds. Like the 7th to the 9th round, to me, that was Josesito Lopez all day, every day. And there's an argument that you can make that anywhere between the 10th or 11th round, you could have gave him that as well, too. But see, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. I saw Keith Thurman slowing down, man. I saw that, that ring rust was going to show up. And I didn't like the fact that Lennox Lewis early on in the fight was trying to make it seem like, oh, Keith Thurman did not have a ring rust. His ring rust is not showing because his reflexes were there. And I felt Lennox Lewis, being the boxing champion that he previously was, and being around the sport, being trained by Emmanuel Stewart and knowing what he knows, he should have known better than that. You know what I'm saying? You saw in the second half of the fight, his analysis got more accurate because he was saying, man, yeah, all that time that Keith Thurman was out of the ring is starting to show. He should have said that from the jump, because I don't care, what level of fighter you are. You're out of the square circle for a significant period of time, especially 24 months like Keith Thurman, your ring rust is going to show. This is why I knew this fight was going to be long and arduous for him, because I knew Josesito Lopez was going to be hungry, and I knew he was going to come to bring it. But hats off to him for doing that. His stock went up after this fight. I felt Josesito Lopez stock definitely went up. But it's no different, because when it's all said and done, all he did was graduated from a bona fide journeyman to a super journeyman. I'm going to say that again. All he did was graduated from a bona fide journeyman to a super journeyman. Now, top welterweights are going to know that fighting him is going to be a tougher outing, but they're still going to be able to win definitively against him, because 3 deficiencies that show still with Josesito Lopez, no matter the fact that Robert Garcia was training him. One, he has a bobblehead, man. Like, the guy cannot move his head for anything. So his head is there to be hit at all times. 2, Josesito Lopez is flat-footed. You know what I'm saying? He has no foot movement, no foot placement. He doesn't know how to pivot his foot. He doesn't know how to have ring generalship. And 3, he's very awkward. You know what I'm saying? He's not a technically sound boxer. You know what I'm saying? He fights pretty much with his guts, you know what I'm saying, with his Mexican, Aztec, Raza warrior stuff. But there's a 4th glaring thing that I saw in the fight, and I think a lot of people saw that too. See, this is the stuff that I'm talking about, man. Victor Conte got these cats on snack. I know this is going to be very controversial, but the hits that Josesito Lopez took, if this was the previous Josesito Lopez we saw in the past, he would have been down, man. Because there was moments where Keith Thurman was throwing some thudding power punches. Last time I checked, Keith Thurman is the strongest welterweight, in that division. I'm going to say that again. Keith Thurman is the strongest welterweight in that division. So his punches, you only got but one time. That's why they call him one time. That's his nickname. because it's one time for him to knock you down. And you saw towards the fight, that's why around the 7th to 9th round, Josesito Lopez was able to have what they call marginal or moderate success. I'm going to say that again. He was able to have marginal or moderate success. And the reason being is because I think Keith Thurman's confidence waned, because he was like, man, I'm landing flush shots on this guy's chin and he's not going down. There was a time in the fight where Josesito Lopez was like this. He was coming at him. Dude, I seriously believe if you look at that dude's eyes, he was on something, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what anybody tell me, because it was just abnormal the way he was fighting. It wasn't the regular Josesito Lopez we saw. And this is the stuff that I'm talking about with fighters, man, and they got to pay attention to. And this is what I think is going to happen in that Mikey Garcia and that Errol Spence fight. Mikey Garcia is going to be on something. I still got Errol Spence taking his ass out in 5 rounds. It's going to be a 5th round TKO stoppage. But I feel Errol Spence is going to have to land his hardest punches on Mikey Garcia, because they're going to have Mikey Garcia juiced up. They're going to have him on something, because he's just not going to go out that fast. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at that fight, something was off with Josesito Lopez. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm Nevada, or if I'm any boxing commission, you know what I'm saying? I think the fight took place in New York. So if it did take place in New York and Brooklyn, if I'm that boxing commission, I'm testing Josesito Lopez after the fight. I guarantee you, if they test him immediately after the fight, they'll find something in his system. Something just didn't seem right. I'm not the only one that feels like that. If y'all do, you know what I'm saying, comment below, you know what I'm saying, on this video and let me know what you think. Because something seemed off with him. He was just abnormal, man. He wasn't like regular boxer in there. He seemed possessed in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I was watching the fight and I was sitting there and I'm like, damn, I could see why Keith Thurman's confidence was waning. You know, and again, I'm not taking nothing away from Josesito Lopez. He showed up and he showed out the way that I thought he was. I thought this was going to be a close fight. I had it, Keith Thurman winning in a 12-round split decision, but apparently the judges thought it was a majority decision. Either way, I was right in saying that this thing was going to go to 12 rounds. I knew that when Josesito Lopez got that knockdown, to me, that was like a fluke. You know what I'm saying? It's not taking nothing away from Keith Thurman, but here's the thing. When you ain't been in the ring for 2 years, you need to fight 12 rounds in a fight, because you need to gain that experience, man. You need to go through all those rounds so that you can get the experience that you need. This is why I'm saying Keith Thurman needs to fight 3 times, because look at the way he fought in that fight, man. Keith Thurman's not ready for the likes of an Errol Troop Spence. He's not ready for the likes of a Terrence Bud Crawford. Boy, Errol the Troop Spence would just straight body snatch and thudding power his ass. He would straight tactical aggression and technical placement punch his ass. And Bud Crawford, man, will use that athleticism against him, because the way that Keith Thurman was moving, because that's the thing, Keith Thurman has ring generalship and he moves, but he doesn't move fluidly and he doesn't move soundly. I'm going to say that again. He does not move fluidly and he does not move soundly. Keith Thurman has an awkward way of moving around the ring. And if you are a fighter to the likes of a Errol Spence or Terrence Bud Crawford, you know how to cut that ring off. And as you can see, every time Josesito Lopez cornered Keith Thurman's ass and got his ass in the corner, what ended up happening? He was having success after success. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. This is why I tell cats, you know what I'm saying, like this cat that was arguing with me, his name is Ty M or whatever his name is. This cat is a Keith Thurman, you know what I'm saying, fan. He's a one-time fanboy. And he was sitting there telling me, oh, you know, look at Keith Thurman's resume, et cetera, et cetera. This is the stuff that I'm talking about, man. Keith Thurman's not ready, and this is why he's ducking. That's why his name becomes duck time when it comes to Errol Troop Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford, because he knows those guys are very astute boxers. They know how to cut that ring off, use their athleticism, use their lateral movement, and just dismantle him. Keith Thurman shows his 2 frailties. You saw his dad, man, between that 7th and the 9th round. That dad looked worried as nobody's business, man, because his son was taking shots. I mean, his legs. Go look at his legs in the end of the 7th round, man. Them things were like jelly. He damn near had to hold Josesito Lopez. He almost got knocked out in that fight. You know what I'm saying? This is the stuff that I'm talking about. And when I say cats haven't fought for 2 years, they got that ring rust and they got to work that thing out. This is why Keith Thurman needs to higgity hush, stop going against the fans with his McDonald's comment, this is not McDonald's, have it your way, and focus on his craft. You are a prize fighter, man. All this stuff with people saying, well, there's CT out here, these boxers need to worry about their head and their trauma. I get all of that. But that's your 9 to 5. Everybody has their 9 to 5. You chose your 9 to 5 to be boxing. You are a prize fighter. So we expect you to not only fight, and at that magnitude, we expect you to fight the best. So there's just no two ways around it. I don't want to hear these excuses. I'm not the one that picked that profession, and you guys are not the one that picked that profession. He did. So you need to stay in that ring, stay fresh, and don't get injured. Keith Thurman did not get injured tonight, so I don't want to hear that nonsense of why he can't be in the ring come June or July of this year, and why he can't step in the ring between November and this year again. His ass should be in the ring 3 times. And if I was him, I would know that I need to be there 3 times, because the way that he fought tonight, he is nowhere near ready for Errol Spence. He is nowhere near ready for a Terrence Crawford. Comment below and let me know what you guys think, because I told you guys, man, y'all got to start putting respect on my name, man, because He Knows His Sport is bringing you that heat and that fire. This is He Knows His Sport. Checking out.